Hey guys, hope you're doing well. So today I want to try out the build with build agent challenge. So I have an idea in mind that I want to try out. So if you have ever worked with translations on the platform, you know that translations are done in many different tables. That is because we have a lot of different data types in Servicenow, right? We have fields, we have long texts, we have like menu items on the portal, taxonomies. There are a lot of different stuff that needs to be translated, and these are translated in different tables. So if you search for a system localization here, we get different tables here that are storing all of these or some of these translations. If you, for example, go into field labels, we can find all the different translations that are done for fields. And here you can see the label. So this is some of the Norwegian translations. So Servicenow is going to translate everything on instance when you install a package or a language. And some of these different translations is a bit off, or we want to change it a little bit. Especially notice that some clients are very picky about how these translations are done, and they want to change a lot of them. And then it's sometimes a bit hard to understand or know in which table these different translations is stored in. So I want to build an app that maybe can help us a bit with that. So we will see how it goes, because I know this is a bit difficult. So for example, in this field records or field labels, I want to see if I can translate or edit the translation of the short description, which is translated to kort beskrivelse in Norwegian. So I'm going to search for that. And now we can see I'm getting a lot of different results here. It's 354 different records, because there are a lot of different, fields that are named short description. But I want to query it down to the incident table, so I can try to do that. And now you can see we get no results. And that is because this translation is actually done on the parent table, which is the task table. So when I search for that, then I get the actual field I want to translate or change the translation of. So I can double click here, and then I can simply change it to something else. So this is fine, but this is quite a simple, example, because this is a field tables. So we got like messages and like translated text choices. It's also a bit nice or easy to work with. And then we also have translated name and fields. So this is actually a legacy table. So it's a bit confusing. It's a bit all over the place. So let's try to build an app that can do that or help us with this. So this is the query I have prepared already. So translation helper. So the UI should be very simple. A field where the user enters the existing translated text they want to fix, example short beskrivelse, from the incident form, a field or drop down where the user selects where they found it, example also incident form, HR, KH, UI action, so whatever. And we want to try to query it down, so when the user searches, the app should automatically query all translation sources managed by system localization, including field, labels, choices, buttons, messages, related lists, and actions. So let's try this out and see where or how the agent will respond. So let's go into Servicenow IDE, and let's build a new workspace. Let's call it translation manager, and let's leave it. So we're getting into that workspace, and we got the build agent up here and running. So let's paste in the query. So I have not specified the different tables and fields. I could do that, but I want to see if we can figure that out in themselves. because if we see here, for example, this field labels is stored this is the actual field table name. Maybe we can do that. So let's save that, and also let's go to the other ones as well. So system local, let's open messages, field labels, choices, and translated text, and let's paste in all of those different fields. So and the tables we need to query is this one, and we also need choices, and we need this guy. So choice, and there we have it. Okay, let's try that. Let's see what happens. So I know this is going to be a bit of a hard task because, for example, if you want to translate a UI action, it's a bit hard to understand if it's going to be the UI action in the backend, or it's going to be like a UI action on the workspace, which is a form layout action, or so there's a lot of different records that are playing together. So let's approve this guy. So it's going to create a UI page and a script include for business logic and query translations tables, and then a scripted REST API for endpoints the UI can call. Okay. We need to check if the existing networks, we need to create a new one. Okay, so let's see what we're going to get. So let's take a look at, for example, so in the field labels, we can query the task, or you can query the table. If you're looking at, for example, messages, you can see this is structured differently. We can't search for a table, it's just a bit all over. So the language we can query to Norwegian, and then we can search for the message. So the message is the actual field where this is, updated, or not updated, but translated. So all the records, we have all the records, so the app just needs to query the correct ones and be able to let us update them. And it also needs to query like a bit narrow, because if we get too many results, because this is like, you can see there are a lot of different records in these tables. So if you get a very large result, it's going to be, not that friendly for a user to do this. So let's check out translated text. You can see this one is also very, very large. And then here we have the table name, so that is nice. And also in this specific table, we got a document. So let's filter out the empty ones. That was not okay. So even though they're empty, they are we are querying on a specific sysid. Let's sort it. That even didn't do much either. So you got a field name here. So you can see all of these different tables are structured differently, which is going to make this a bit difficult for the AI, I think. So let's see how it goes. There is actually an app made a little bit back that is localization framework, it's called. I made a video about that some time ago. So localization framework. So in this artifact configuration, there's some different processor scripts that you can see here. That is script includes that are gonna run through everything on a portal, for example, or everything on an incident to get all the different fields and UI messages and whatever kind of data type, so you can translate them. But this is a bit, if you're not very technical, this is a bit hard. So I wanted to make something a bit easier for people that are not technical. I was also thinking in the query to give a URL to the user, so the user can like paste in a URL for an incident form, for example, in the backend, or an incident form that are found in a workspace, and then see if the AI or the app can query what's on that specific field or on that specific page, and like get all the different results. For example, if you're on an incident, then let's try to search for that. If we are in a random incident, there are a different. So in this view, we can see we have these types of fields. We got these different types of UI actions here, and we got some different, just text. And we also got this different related lists. So this is actually quite hard to find. I think I find them in the sys relationship. Let's just try to see if we can find it. Sys relationships. So in here we can, so this applies to table. So let's try, see if we can find incident here. Or maybe we need to query the task. Let's see how it goes. So it's done. I made excellent progress building your translation app. Here's what I completed. Okay, so let's try it out. So, would you like me to continue with the building and installing applications? You can start using the app. Yes, of course. So my hopes for this one isn't, I'm a bit skeptical, but let's see how it goes. So now it's building and deploying to the instance. Yes, approve. And sometimes if you need to update some of these translation records, you need to be in a specific scope, because there are some scopes involved here. Okay, so very nice. It's going through all of these different tables. Okay, so it didn't let me click on this one. Okay, nice, fine translation. Okay, so let's try that. Kort beskrivelse. Where did you find the text? That was in incident form. And language Norwegian. Okay, so search failed. That didn't give us much. Let's look at the console here. So failed to load resource. Let's copy that. Give it back to the AI. Okay, so sync anyway. Okay, so let's maybe try again. Still the problem. So we have a get error 500 internal server error. Let us copy that. paste it in. Okay, so make some more debugging alerts so we can see what's going on, finding the issue here. Okay, let's run that. Now I can see it's working, but the scroll wheel is not following along, so we need to remember to just scroll down. Okay, checkpoint. You're getting an internal, which means there's an issue on the server side. Let me add debugging to help. First, let me enhance the client side server to capture more detail. Okay. Let me enhance the REST API handler, more detailed error handling and logging. I think this should be out of the box. It should just output a lot of logs in the beginning without me saying it, so we can, follow along in each step and do each own different debugging. Because I noticed the issue. So what I've noticed with Claude, it's very optimistic and very happy, and even though it hasn't found the issue, it's I found the exact issue, but it wasn't the issue, or it didn't fix it. So even though you're getting this response, don't be too happy about it. But let's see. So it takes a bit of time. I know this because this is a bit of a hard problem, or a bit of a hard task or app to create, especially on the first try, because there's a lot of different backend queries that needs to be done. Approve. But it should at least get some response here. So looks like it's ready for a new test. So scrolling down, seeing, okay. So I guess we can just update this. And we can see on the log side here. Okay, so let's try the same. So your message. Okay, so let's do the same. So this is Norwegian. Okay, so debug search failed with error. Okay. Translation error. Okay, so response. Okay, but this is nice information. So let's copy that. So this is gonna cost us a bit of prompts. So let's see if we can fix this before we are limited. So there's only 10 prompts per month for a PDI. But I'm actually on a demo server, or a demo of KPMG where I work. So I actually have unlimited with prompts here, but I'm gonna stick to the 10 ones. Right now I have used 3 or 4. So 1, Okay, 3. Let's approve that. So if you haven't sped up the video yet, I recommend you do so. But this is gonna take some time, I guess. Okay, we are ready for a new test. Let's just make sure we are opening the correct URL here. Okay, let's do the same. Norwegian. Okay. After permanent name in JSON. So let's copy that. But now we got a response 200, which is nice. So that's a step in the right direction. So let's paste in the error again here. I'm just first gonna display the client side error or the alert. So I'm excited to see where this is going. I guess in 1 year this is going to be so much better, and then we can make apps so fast. And I'm interested to see how the cost, or is Servicenow going to stay forever? But the cost of software is going to go so much down. It's going to be so cheap for clients to make custom apps, that can do exactly what they want. We're just speaking to an AI, like we're doing now. Simply vibe coding. But building a service now from vibe coding, that is not gonna work in a couple of years, I think. But using AI to improve the Java that Servicenow is built on is maybe going to help the instance, help Servicenow become more efficient, faster, better. There's probably a lot of different code that is not very efficient, that can be better. And I think AI can really help us to do so. Like make like loops more efficient, and and I think the Raptor database is coming out for already out for many customers. So they're also going to boost the performance. So it's building a new version again. Let's approve. Okay, let's see. Because at least getting the fields is should be an easy process. What I could have done in my prompt is given it really concrete instructions about how to do this manually, and then it can automate it. Now I gave it like a figure it out yourself kind of prompt. But I was a little bit detailed. I gave at least different tables to query. So let's do the same. Incident, Norwegian. Still the same problem here. Okay, so translation syntax. Is it simply a syntax error? Let's Let's do it one more time. Okay, let's see what it said. So I can guess it's saying, oh, I found the issue now. It's so obvious. Yeah, I can see the error is still happening. The debug isn't showing up properly because I need to fix the response handling. Let me correct this, okay. By getting the raw text first, then parsing it. We could have checked the log on the backend side. The server logs. Maybe there's something we can take a look at. But this is always a mess if you don't get the source to query for. Okay, I like that we get this sound every time the agent wants to or needs us to do something. For example, update or approve, I mean. So it's building and installing. Okay, so fix it for JSON parsing. Okay, so client side debugging, server side test again. Okay, let's try it out. Refresh. Incident Norwegian. Okay, so there's another bug now. JSON part failed at position. Check console log. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So this is what we got. So we got a raw response. We got a lot of different stuff here. So it looks good, but it can't parse the response. So I think we are getting somewhere. But we don't have many prompts left. Okay, so try to search now. It should either work completely or give you much more specific information about what's still causing the JSON issue. Perfect, I can see the real issue now. It's a Servicenow system error looking at the debugging output. Okay, so it's blaming Servicenow. This is a REST execution, not a JSON from data. Okay. Properly, let me fix this by going back to the external file handlers. Okay, so now it's building another version. In my PDI, I was actually working on a widget that can do this. So let's see. Refresh again. Okay. Still has some of the same issues. Okay, one last time, and now we call it quits. It should work perfectly. So let me try a completely different approach using a much simpler pattern that I know works reliable in Servicenow. That sounds good. So approve. Major architecture change. Okay, let's try it out again for the last time. Still getting the same result. Okay, I think we're gonna call it quits now. I knew this was kind of a big challenge for the build agent, but we were getting somewhere, and maybe I will see if I can work this out to try to fix the issue myself. Okay, and I will notify you how that goes. Alright, see you in the next one.